Well, good evening, visitors. Welcome to the Australian War Memorial's Last Post ceremony. My name is Richard Cruz, and joining us today from the Royal Australian Air Force is Wing Commander David Fredericks. We warmly welcome the family of Gunner Albert David Baird, whose story will be told shortly. We welcome the veterans who have served, those that are still serving, and the families that support them. We acknowledge the members of RSL and Services Clubs Association, RSL Victoria and RSL Queensland, who are watching the broadcast of this ceremony across Australia. During this evening's ceremony, wreaths will be laid at the base of the Pool of Reflection by family and visitors. Could I ask you all to please stand and join in singing the National Anthem? If you're able, please be seated. The Australian War Memorial was the vision of Charles Bean, Australia's First World War official historian. Bean landed with the Australian troops on Gallipoli and stayed with them at the front through to the end of the war. The idea of this national memorial and museum came to him at Pozières, France, in the depths of the bloody fighting of 1916. Bean's idea was that this would be a place where families and friends could mourn loved ones buried in faraway places. It would also be a place that could help all Australians understand what these men and women had endured and what they had done for us. Bean's vision, to which we remain true, is best expressed as inscribed in the entrance to the memorial's galleries. Here is their spirit in the heart of the land they loved, and here we guard the record which they themselves made. Tonight we'll read the story behind just one of those on the Roll of Honour, which lists the names of more than 102,000 men and women who have given their lives for us in war and operations over more than a century. But first we present a lament, Flowers of the Forest. Wreaths and floral tributes will now be laid at the base of the Pool of Reflection.
Today we remember and pay tribute to Gunner Albert Beard. Popularly known as Bert, Albert David Beard was born on the 8th of May 1892 at Cowes, Victoria, to Albert and Isabella Beard. Shortly after Albert's birth, the Beard family moved to New South Wales, but by 1914 had returned to Victoria, where they owned and ran the Town Hall Hotel in Brighton. Here, Albert Beard worked for his parents as a barman. Following the outbreak of the First World War, Beard enlisted for service with the artillery in Melbourne on the 15th of May 1916. He spent the next 5 months in training establishments. He was allotted to the 21st Reinforcements to the 1st Divisional Ammunition Column. In late October, Beard embarked from Melbourne aboard the transport ship Ulysses, bound for England, where he arrived just after Christmas. He joined the 1st Divisional Ammunition Column in France in mid-February 1917, and only days later was detached to the 1st Division's Trench Mortar School. After successfully completing the course, he returned to his unit. In late April, Beard was accidentally injured when driving an ammunition wagon during a resupply run. He suffered a contusion to his left foot and was out of action for a month. The ensuing months were busy as wider AIF operations at Messine and Ypres kept the men busy. With Australian artillery brigades suffering heavy casualties during the latter half of 1917, Beard was transferred to the 1st Artillery Brigade in mid-October. In the early hours of the 3rd of November, Beard joined the 101st Battery, which was in positions on Anzac Ridge. The battery's positions were under sporadic German artillery fire during the day. According to a witness report, Beard was at a gun position when he was hit in the head by a shell splinter from an exploding German shell. He was taken to the advanced dressing station of the 7th Australian Field Ambulance, where he died shortly after from his wounds. He was laid to rest in the Menin Road South Military Cemetery. He was 26 years old. His name is listed on the Roll of Honour on my right, among more than 60,000 Australians who died while serving in the First World War. This is but one of the many stories of service and sacrifice told here at the Australian War Memorial. We now remember Gunner Albert David Beard, who gave his life for us, for our freedoms, and in the hope of a better world.
Please stand for the reading of the ode and the sounding of the last post.
They shall not grow old, as we that are left grow old. Age shall not weary them, nor the years condemn. At the going down of the sun and in the morning, we will remember them.
We will remember them.
lest we forget.
Lest we forget. We leave you this evening with the words of the memorial's founder, Charles Bean. Many a man lying out there at Pozières or in the low scrub at Gallipoli, with his poor, tired senses barely working through the fever of his brain, has thought in his last moments, well, it's over. But in Australia, they will be proud of this. Ladies and gentlemen, girls and boys, that concludes the last post ceremony. We thank you for visiting the Australian War Memorial and wish you all a very good evening. Thank you.